back.
I think when you do a live performance, you feel.
I don't have to wait. Good morning, everyone. I'm Art Rascone reporting, and we have live breaking news to bring to you. Here we go again. Another high-speed chase, this one on the Beltway. This guy refuses to stop at a I think the police officers were attempting to try and stop him, and he refused to stop, and then he just went on his way. I believe it was a common traffic stop initially, but there we have the Beltway. There's the vehicle. It is a black sedan. You can see several police officers behind him. He's been on the run now for at least maybe about 10 minutes and continues to move. I'm not sure which direction on the Beltway. Perhaps we can get some more information, but all we know is that it's on the Beltway. Not sure if it's north, south, east, or west, or the other direction either. So, but he has refused to stop, and we do know that the officers have been chasing him for about 10 minutes here. We don't know why he's running, other than that the police officers apparently tried to stop him for a traffic violation, and he refused to stop. But we don't know any other reason other than that. Samika Knight as well has just joined me, and as we continue to watch this high-speed chase.
So we're being told that there's only one person in that car, and it looks like a dark Chrysler. They're speeding past those cars there. Northeast Harris County on Beltway 8. Of course, we're trying to confirm exactly which direction that driver is going in right now. Does it look like he's slowing down a little bit, Art, or maybe still
I don't believe so.
Past?
He's speeding by those vehicles like they're practically standing still. He seems to move it along at a pretty good pace. Officers have only said that they've been chasing him for about that time, and that it was a simple traffic violation as a result of him just not stopping. That's why they continue to chase, but not sure why he's running.
So, North Beltway coming around towards I-10 on the east side. Again, one person in that car, and you can sort of see him there as Sky is following this chase. Police, HPD, close behind the driver there. We don't know what led to this chase, why he refused to stop, but we do see him flying past vehicles there on the Beltway. So, of course, if you are in that area, if you know anyone in the area, ask them to make sure that they are aware of this and be very careful here.
This is northbound on the Beltway. Not sure if it is east Beltway northbound or west Beltway northbound, but we know it's northbound on the Beltway. So it's northeast Harris County, so it must be east Beltway heading.
They're approaching Highway 90 now, we're being told, Art, here, our producer chiming in about that. Again, we do not know why this suspect took off. You mentioned that it was a traffic stop, right?
Violation of some sort on the highway or a roadway, and then officers tried to stop him, and he didn't stop. If they're going northbound on the east Beltway, then they're going to be approaching Highway 90. That's just past Wallisville Road. If they continue to move this direction, they're going to be eventually getting into like the Summerwood area, and then they swing around.
Right.
And eventually headed westbound on the Beltway. And you have officers as well right there on the feeder road following him, attempting to keep up, and then those on the Beltway as well.
And it appears that, we're listening in to our producer, he just crossed New Highway 90. So for those in that area, you see the school bus there, speeding past this school bus. And as you mentioned, Art, their HPD, what appears to be HPD, and I'm sure Harris County Sheriff's deputies there, as they are in northeast Harris County, following this chase. And you can see spike strips being put out. Oh, wow, the suspect now going on a grassy area, going around the spike strips as police are, Harris County Sheriff's deputies and police.
Well,
he did go
that's
around the spike strips.
He went right around those spike strips. He's familiar with what he's doing then, but he's slowing down. He's not going nearly as fast. Don't know whether if any of the tires were affected as a result of him going off the road like that.
Picking up
onto
speed
the
again.
brush, but he's again picking up speed. Apparently he's seen what they do, what the officers, he was well aware of what they were going to be doing. You can see that window is down. It looks like, well, he just rolled it up.
Window up there.
Yeah, tinted windows there, but you saw he was wearing a white shirt or a white T-shirt. He's picking up speed again, went right around those spike strips. And there is no shoulder, or there was no frontage road, excuse me. No feeder here, but he is now pulling over again. Let's see.
Here he is,
he's going to be trying to get it onto.
Trying to go as
right through the
Houston
rain and
police
mud.
Officer trying to sort of box him in there. Now, do we know his location now, Lauren? Talking to our
Still
producer.
northbound on the Beltway. This is the East Beltway northbound, and now he's on the feeder.
Approaching the East Freeway, and you see HPD, Harris County Sheriff's deputies, and see him zipping past these cars. How dangerous is that? He's now on the feeder road, slowing down, making a right turn here into, is this a subdivision? Actually, let's see, it appears to be a subdivision, heading into a subdivision there, speeding through, blowing past these stop signs, maybe a parking lot of some sort. Let's see if we can pull out here and see exactly where he's going. Speeding through this parking lot on the east side here, Northeast Harris County, near Beltway 8 still. This is a parking lot, potentially the 99-cent store parking lot, if I'm familiar with this area.
Well, he's
yes, a Wendy's 99-cent store. I'm familiar with this area.
Clearly still trying to get away, but now back on the feeder road.
And this may actually be Wood Forest Drive here. You see him going through these stoplights, very dangerous. This is a heavily populated area. I believe this is Wood Forest Drive, speeding past here. If he keeps going, he will pass a school very soon. I believe this is in the North Shore area. So certainly if you are in this area, take heed that there is a police chase going on. The suspect, a single suspect in that vehicle. Ooh! Oh,
there he goes, just smashing into the vehicle. Let's hope that vehicle is okay, or the person's in that car.
There are 2 or 3.
We have
now
3
the suspect
vehicles.
jumping
now
out of the car.
Jumping out, and the guns are drawn.
Guns drawn.
He looks like he's trying to do something.
Possibly gunshots being fired right now. So we're pulling out just a little bit as police try to apprehend this suspect.
All right, let's watch for a moment and calm down as we look and see what happens. You can see the man there on the ground. You can see the officers with their guns drawn. Shots were definitely fired. He appeared as though he was reaching for something. They are right there on top of him now, getting him in handcuffs, no doubt. He ran into one vehicle, made him veer off to another, and smashed into an SUV. And that was right there on the feeder road in Northeast Harris County. If they can push in just a bit, because we can't see anything at this point.
This is potentially Wood Forest Drive or
Wallisville
Drive.
That's good. That's good.
You can see the suspect
All right, the suspect is clearly down on the ground. They're not sure. At this point, we want to keep our distance, of course, and be careful with and sensitive to this situation. But clearly the officers there on the scene, with their guns drawn initially, shots were fired because you could see that smoke from the individual pistols. Don't know how many shots were fired, but he slammed right into that small, what appears to be a smart car. Let's hope the individual in that car is okay. Then well, yeah, I guess we're told that it was a PT Cruise that he ran into, which allowed him to lose control, eventually running into an SUV. Then he got out of the vehicle.
Gunshots being fired. And we're going to...
Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and re-rack the video. There it is, and this is the last few seconds. You can see the sedan running this on the feeder road here, and watch this closely. Oh. Boom, that's where he hits the vehicle. Then he loses control, of course, hits an SUV, which hits another vehicle. Then he jumps out, and then he goes back in.
Right.
Not sure what he's doing there, but then that's when shots were fired. There it is again, another smash of that vehicle on the intersection, then that SUV hitting another van. He gets out, gets back in, and then that's when the shots were fired.
Right. So right
immediately
now,
after that.
You're taking a live look at the scene here as investigators now sort of try to itemize evidence here on the scene. They're putting down the numbers potentially for bullet shell casings. Right now, we're trying to figure out the condition of the suspect, also the condition of those drivers in that white car, as you saw, the one that seemed to have been heavily impacted there by that crash, and also the driver of the 2 SUVs as a result of that crash. Again, Northeast Harris County, potentially either Wood Forest or Wallisville Road. We do know that this is in the North Shore area. In that parking lot, you see...
Before it came to this tragic end. Now, of course, officers in this case, the adrenaline is running. They jump out of their vehicle. We don't have the advantage, of course, of hearing anything that was spoken on the ground. But clearly there were words exchanged. But at this point, you can see the vehicle there at a distance. You can see it had crashed into the SUV, and you can see a white tarp over the suspect in this case. So presumably the man passed away, but we don't have that confirmed, of course. And we don't have any ambulance services there at the scene. We don't have any emergency services other than a host of police deputies, of police officers, and Harris County deputies as well. And then you have the white indicators there on the road.
The condition, we haven't confirmed the condition of the suspect. We have seen some sort of white sheet, if you will, on the scene here. We have not confirmed his condition. We're still trying to confirm the condition of the driver of this car. We see investigators now opening the passenger doors, potentially a passenger in there, or maybe just a driver, but they are checking on certainly the driver of the car. We are hearing now that it appears that the suspect was fatally wounded in this chase, a shooting, and we are again hearing that the suspect appears to be dead.
That was, as we showed the pictures earlier, when they put the white sheet over him, that was the presumption that he had passed away in this shooting. But that's all we can say at this point. We don't have that confirmed, but he's presumably dead as a result of the shooting. This vehicle right here was hit really, really hard. What you're looking at now is the blue sedan that the suspect was driving, and the other SUV there, the brown one. The body lays just beyond that blue SUV and with a white tarp over it. The other vehicle that was heavily damaged was, of course, that vehicle which is just below all of that. If the camera can just slide just a little bit below that, you can see the white vehicle that was smashed really, really hard during that intersection collision. We know that the driver of that vehicle, in fact, is still attempting to get out of the vehicle. There doesn't seem to be a huge rush in the attempt to get that person out, that driver out. So at this point, we're just presuming that that driver is okay, just needing medical attention and presumably waiting for ambulances and paramedics to arrive to go ahead and administer any type of help that he might need.
Now, we just received some new information in here. The traffic stop, it was a routine traffic stop that began just before 10. That traffic stop happening along, we believe, Weaver Road. And to my producer, correct me if I'm wrong, but we believe that traffic stop happened on Weaver Road, that is. Lasted about 30 minutes. As you saw there in the video, authorities confirming now that the suspect did exit the vehicle, and then he reached back in, as you saw there in the video.
You know that the shots were fired and that the man was down, and that he has presumably been killed as a result because a white sheet was placed over him.
Right, and again, we're taking a look there at the video shot earlier from Sky HD as that suspect just sped past even a school bus there, going around Harris County deputies as they try to put out a spike strip for the suspect, eventually going into this intersection, crashing into a white truck there, and then into one SUV, which then crashed into another, going out of the vehicle, reaching back in. Couldn't tell exactly what he was reaching for or what he had in his hands after he came back out of that car, but we do know that gunshots were fired thereafter, and you could see, as Art, you mentioned, the smoke there coming from those gunshots. And we've confirmed that the suspect is down. That crash, ending the chase that started 30 minutes earlier, ending it at Wallisville Road and Castlegory. And as Carla mentioned, she's being moved now, and we'll probably get her up in just a few minutes. But this is right in front of North Shore Middle School.
They're moving that police line back even further, trying to, I guess, expand the investigation. So we're looking at the...
And we're going right to Carla now, who has a witness here. Carla, if you can hear us, we'd like to talk to you and talk to that witness, if you don't mind.
Yeah, guys, as I said, police officers asked us to move over. Thank you for spending some time with us this morning. Again, this is a ground view of the impact the Chrysler had on several vehicles. From what we saw on Sky Eye HD, the blue car first crashed into the white car, a small car. It crashed head on, and then it impacted the brown, the tan-colored Explorer over there. The tan Explorer then crashed into another vehicle that is pulled over on the side of the road. We're looking at a close-up shot at the victim's car right now. Obviously, a lot of devastation. The suspect's car has several bullet holes on the window. We don't know how many shots were fired. We also don't know if the suspect fired any shots back at the police officers. Again, we understand that there were at least 3 other vehicles impacted during this high-speed chase. We don't know the condition of the driver in the white car. We don't know the condition of the driver in the tan Ford Explorer, but we do know that a woman who was driving a silver SUV is doing okay. She was shaken up a little bit, but she is being questioned right now by authorities. She happened to be going home, her friend tells me, to check on her house. She was going through this intersection when all of a sudden her car was hit by that tan Explorer. We are being told off the record that Houston Police is the lead agency on this case. We have not heard from a spokesperson yet, and in fact, I don't see anyone out here. This is the kind of case that spokespersons usually do come out to the scene. We're going to try to figure out who that person is to try to get you more information, and once we do, we'll be sure to pass it along. For now, back to you guys in the studio.
Okay, thank you, Carla. Appreciate that reporting out of there. By the way, there were at least 5 bullet holes in the back seat window of that Chrysler, and then another 5 in the front passenger side. So we know that there were at least 10 bullet holes, 10 gunshots. Not knowing where they came from, however, we do know there were at least 3 officers shooting that direction.
Right. Wow. Still a lot coming out of this story. We'll be right back.
BP MS 150.
All right. Thank you, Travis.
All right, we're going back out to Carla really quickly with new information on the suspect involved in that deadly police chase. Carla?
Yeah, just a little bit more information, guys. We've been out here for an hour now, and just a couple of seconds ago, a man walked up to us and told us he was the suspect's best friend. I want to point him out to you guys. He's talking to police officers right now. He came up to me with tears in his eyes, and he said he was talking to the suspect on the phone, and he didn't know what happened afterwards. I don't know if they were talking during the police chase, but he did have tears in his eyes, and he said that the suspect involved in this high-speed chase was his best friend. He decided to come out here to try to figure out what happened and to see how his friend is doing. Again, Houston police have not confirmed to us whether or not the suspect has died, but when we arrived on the scene about an hour ago, we witnessed it for ourselves. The suspect is on the ground. We're still trying to get some more information from you, trying to figure out exactly how all of this happened and if the suspect fired any shots back at police officers. From what we see from the vehicles over here, we know police officers were able to fire several shots, 5, 6, 7, perhaps more shots. You can see the bullet holes in the blue Chrysler that was involved in this high-speed chase. That Chrysler first hit that small white car and then rammed into the tan Ford Explorer that you see on the screen there. That tan Explorer then hit yet another car. We know the driver of that third car impacted in this police chase is doing okay. She's a little bit shaken up. She is talking to authorities right now. We're trying to find out how the drivers of those 2 cars are doing, and also trying to find out more information from police. Once we do that, we'll be sure to pass it along on ABC13.com and, of course, on our later newscasts throughout this afternoon. For now, reporting live in Northeast Houston, I'm Carla Badiena, 13 Eyewitness News.
Okay, thank you, Carla, for that report. We appreciate it. Again, pictures of the high-speed chase, a dramatic end, a tragic one, leaving the suspect dead, being shot by police officers. There it is, and there's how it happened. And we will certainly have much more on Eyewitness News at 4, 5, and 6.
And we do thank you for joining us for 11. We'll see you again at 4.